venting clients, when to tell them to be quiet, when to just stop, or when to actually just know when enough is enough with them venting. In so many sessions that I've had, I have had clients that have really wanted to tell their whole life story and give me all their scenarios of what's happened in their life, when they've been angry, when they've needed a cigarette, when they've eaten, all of that. But when do you know in that session, when they are venting, when they were telling the stories upon stories on top of stories, when to actually say stop? Well, you can. You can distinguish between what the nod is, what we call the nod in ACH, or when is it just blowing steam and fluff and just giving them time to vent. You will pick it up. You will know when to just stop your clients by saying, no, hang on a minute. So when you went back into feeling angry, you can then hone in on what they're feeling, what they're actually emotionally feeling at that time, and how did that reaction cause that time to have a cigarette. So really stopping them at their tracks when they are venting is to just find out and go back into where the real issue is. And that means using therapy, having the therapy side, not using the hypnosis side, but just finding out more about the client and getting the right questions, even though there's no such thing as right or wrong questions, but the questions that you need to ask at the right time. And knowing that all the scenarios that they've just been venting about has absolutely nothing to do with what the issue is. Because they'll tell you a story and they'll go back into a situation where they think is the issue, but it has got nothing to do with it. In the course, we are going to really see how we can take in and tease out what you need to hone in on and really just take the time to know when is the right time to intervene and tell your client to hang on a minute, just stop there. So when that happened, how did that compare to whatever it is? It really means about you having control of the session, not having to let your client have control of the session because you'll be there for hours and upon hours. And that's how ACH really cuts down the time of not having your client vent the whole time and having that stop and holding it in its tracks and knowing that you need to take control of that session will get to the knot even quicker. So really understanding when you can stop your client from knowing that they don't need to go into those stories. And then you can start seeing them going into a trance, going into thought, into that unconscious moment of, hang on a minute, yeah, that did make me feel sad at the time when I was screaming and yelling. Really, I just wanted to tell you that you don't always need to get your client to vent the whole session.